time. Martin Trainer, right? Not Megan Trainer, Martin Trainer. So that was weird, and something like that could happen now. So let's get into it. By the way, while I'm doing this, if you're in the chat, throw out a name, throw out somebody you want me to talk about, or you have a question about, or you think's hot or not, whatever. If you're in the chat, do that. That'll keep this going and keep it interesting. So let's start. I'm going to look at DraftKings and FanDuel and kind of go back and forth and see what's up. Let's start with DraftKings. And what do we have? Yep, we have John Rahm at 4-1 as the favorite. He is plus 470 on FanDuel, followed by D Boog Burger, 9-1. Cameron Tringali. Is that real? 22-1 on DraftKings, 37-1 on FanDuel. Okay. So interesting. So, oh wow. And also DraftKings or FanDuel has Abe Answer and Burger at 15-1 together. Wow, a lot of differences here. What's up, Jason Littlejohn? Thanks for joining. Cheers, my man. Big difference here already at the top of the board between DraftKings and FanDuel. What do I like better? I actually think I like what FanDuel's got. I mean, just in terms of how I would rank the players. John Rahm, Abe Answer, Daniel Berger. I mean, I would not put Abe Answer in front of Daniel Berger. I would tell you that much. But I would go, and then they got Gary Woodland. This is interesting. All right, actually, let me tell you how I would do this. I would go Rahm Berger for sure. That's 1-2, no doubt. And then I'm probably going. God dang, this is hideous. I'm probably going Finau after that. I don't love it, but I'm not saying I'm betting it, but I would probably go Finau after that, after those guys. But this is a big difference. Cameron Tringali at 22-1, tied for the third shortest guy on DraftKings, along with Gary Woodland and Kevin Na. But he's like 10th on FanDuel at 37-1. Well, I'll tell you this: if you like Cameron Tringali to win this week, you want to bet him at 37-1, you better hurry up and get to FanDuel. Honestly, though, this may be. I may get made fun of for this. I'll probably get made fun of for this. And there's probably some people on Twitter and other podcast people, other talking heads, a lot smarter than me that use a bunch of data and analytics and stuff. And they're really smart people. And they probably are going to hate this. But I think I like Tringali at 37-1. I believe in my heart of hearts. I really do. I really believe in my heart of hearts that Cameron Tringali will win on the PGA Tour. I don't know when. It could be 4 years from now. I don't know. But I really believe that the grizzled veteran with over 277 logged events on the PGA Tour can and will win a PGA Tour event. Just in the last 12 months, he's finished second at the Zozo, third at the Farmers. Third at the Valspar. That's in the last 12 months. I just know the guy can get it done if he has a week. Is this the week? I do think it's long shot season. Most of my card will probably be full of absolute bombs, but 37-1, I mean, relative to the field, I don't know. I actually don't hate it. I actually don't. Call me crazy. I could be an idiot. Call me crazy. But I don't know. I'm thinking I might, thinking I could. I like bombers here. I like long iron players, good long iron players, ball strikers with the approach strokes and approach numbers. Not going to care a whole lot about short game here. Not going to care a whole lot about putting on this Paspalum. This is just bombs away, wide open fairways. Not a lot of no penal rough. Stay out of the water and you're good. There's some bunkers out here, so you need a little bit of short game around the greens, I think. But other than that, man, this is like just rip driver. Could the wind be an issue? Yes, so we might need to look at that closer too. But I mean, Tringali, he's not short, but he's a good iron player. I mean, he has been for a long time. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I'm a little tempted. I can't believe I've spent that long talking about Cameron Tringali at 37-1, but here we are. Finau is interesting. I mean, hey, Finau won the Puerto Rico. Remember that? Remember when that happened a long time ago? What did Finau? I mean, I know he's been terrible, guys. I really do. I know he has been. 35th at the Masters. God dang it. What did he do? Let's see. At the Masters, oh god, he barely gained a little over half a stroke with his off the tee at the Masters. He lost like a tenth of a shot of a stroke on approach. He's still not great, man. He's still just not doing great. Marcus Miklovich says he can't with Tringali. I know, man. I know. I'm gonna get made fun of. Catalina, I'm feeling it though. Maybe I won't. I can't do Finau, not with his form. Not I can't. Kevin Na's interesting to me, but only just through like he's not long enough for me. I want a longer hitter. I'm not touching anybody, Berger, John Rahm. I can't do that in this field. Um, and I think Abe, if you play Abe this week, you're a sucker. Okay. He's short. I mean, off the tee. He's short. He's going to be hitting freaking, 7 woods into par fours on this. I mean, there's par fours 500, 520. Go look at the course breakdown video I did when I looked at the scorecard. This place is big. Um, and he's also just overrated. I say it all the time. So I wouldn't touch freaking Abe Answer at all. Working down the board, I just can't on any of these guys. Aaron Wise. Okay, here's one. Aaron Wise, I'm always a sucker for. 40 to 1 on DraftKings, 34 to 1 on FanDuel. He's obviously got plenty of length and he checks a lot of boxes, I bet. So at 40 to 1, that might be one of the shorter guys that I look to kind of to play. Coming off a 21st finish at the Heritage. Let's see. Wise. I mean, 2020 had a runner up at the OHL Mayakoba, similar coastal resort type golf course. Third at Bermuda back in 2019. That's Corrales. That's another similar course. I think that one's pretty long too. So, won the Byron Nelson long time ago. Hasn't won since then. We've all been waiting on him to win. He's 40 to 1. I think I could get down with a little Aaron Wise actually at 40 to 1. Brad Will says Ortiz and Rahm are my favorites. I mean, Rahm, you obviously got to love, but you're not going to bet him. If you can't bet John Rahm at 5 to 1, John Rahm is not winning. He's not going to win. And even if he does win and you miss it at 5 to 1, who cares? Go bet, go parlay 2 NBA playoff games and get your 5 to 1 back. But he hasn't been in the hunt hardly at all this year, if at all. And so, yes, he should come here and absolutely bully this place and bully the field. But chances are he's not. This is golf. It's still golf. And with an event like this, I think your scoring is going to be in the 20 under range. As long as there's no, unless the weather gets weird. You're foolish to bet John Rahm here. And I know if you win, you can come back and go, "Oh, you said I was." But again, I say, take your chances with something else. And then if he wins at 5 to 1 and you're mad at me, go parlay a baseball game with something. Go to Prize Pick. Hell, yeah, go to Prize Picks and do a freaking 3-play flex play and get your 5x back or whatever. It's that easy. It's not hard to get 5 to 1 anywhere. But in golf, I think you're just pissing away money. Go to covers.com and check out tons of other NBA playoff content, baseball content. They have everything. Winning starts at covers.com. Go there and read a free article or watch a free video from somebody that knows more than you and then get your 5x return. Don't do it on John Rahm. That's just not cool. Not cool. Yeah, I knew Marcus would be pumped about Aaron Wise. Say something nice about Gary Woodland. Okay. Oh, God. Reed wants me to say something nice about Gary. Well, I do like Aaron. I think Aaron Wise might be one of my first clicks. At 40 to 1, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. Gary Woodland, what can I say about Gary Woodland? Here you go. He hits it far, which is good for this place, for sure. And he has played well in 2022. 5th at the Honda, 5th at API, 21st at Valspar, 8th at Valero. Missed the cut at the Masters because he sucks at the Masters. He just does. I don't know, man. The approach numbers are there. What's really holding him back? It's really just putting and short game. I don't know. Gary could be in play. Let's take a look at his. I want to look at his driving. What's been holding him back? Oh yeah, I mean, so he's still gaining a ton of strokes with his distance every single week. He's not hitting fairways and he's not checking the box in good drives gained. But I don't really care for that here. I just don't. I think the fairways are very generous here. The rough so far, from what we've heard, is also very generous and forgiving. So I just think I don't know. Gary can just rip driver. He can just maul driver all day long. Now, where is he? He's 26 to 1 on FanDuel and 22 to 1 on DraftKings. Listen, that's still too short for me to mess with on Gary Woodland. Um, I'm not going to do that because I never get the guy right. Never get him right. So I'm not going to bet that. But if you like Gary a little bit, Reed, then I think Gary's worth. If you want to do that and you want to bet up there with Gary at 26 to 1 on FanDuel, I think you could make it happen. All right, Aaron Wise is a click, I think. So far, let's see. Wise on DraftKings at 40 and Tringali on FanDuel at 37 to 1 are some interesting. They're catching my eye a little bit. Let's keep working down the board. I'm looking for bombers. I'm looking for distance. Okay. I'm not gonna play P. Reed, Brendan Todd, Doug Gim, Kevin Streelman. Charles Howell is interesting at 60. That sounds also weird to say. At the end of the day, I probably won't end up betting him because I'm gonna find guys that are just as good and probably better at much longer odds. The last event he won was a coastal venue at the RSM back in the day. You know what? No, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing Charles Howell. I just figured that out. Not going to do that. All right, keep working down the board. Nick Taylor, nope. Matt Jones. Is Matt Jones interesting to me? I don't know. Is he? Let's look at Matt Jones. Matt Jones. What's he been doing? Um, I mean, he's good in the wind. We know that. Finished runner up at Valero. I actually think I missed that. I kind of blacked out Valero week because I was caddying in the Anwa thing, and I never saw a damn thing. Third at the Century Tournament of Champions. I remember that. Remember how stupid low everybody went at that? I mean, he shot like 30 under and lost to two other people. um, so that's funny. But that's wide fairways, coastal. Won the Honda. At least that's a Florida spot. Windy. Fourth at Bermuda back in 2020. That's interesting. Fifth at Pebble Beach in 2020. I don't know. Matt Jones could be worth a click. Let's see where he ranks out distance wise. I think he's up there. I think he can kind of move it. I love how fast he plays. Yeah, Jones is a bomber. He sucks off the tee because he can't hit a fairway either. I think Jones is in play. What's he on FanDuel? Matt Jones is 50 to 1 on FanDuel and 65 to 1 on DraftKings. He's going in the queue for now. This is not final. Smotherman got enough distance to compete. Let me go look at Smotherman. Let me work down the board here a little bit. I'm not doing Grayson Sig. I'm not doing Davis Riley. I'm not doing Aaron Y. Lonto's not going to get me again. No Taylor Moore. Cam Champ. What's Cam Champ got going? He always plays well at Augusta, which he did. Champ is interesting. Finished 10th at the Masters. That guy. Gosh dang it. I mean, look at his form before he won the 3M Open last year. Did you even remember that he won the 3M Open? His form leading up to the 3M, his last few events, he finished the 2 weeks before, finished 11th at the John Deere. Sounds similar. Finished 10th at the Masters. But before the 11th at the John Deere, he went miscut, 55th, 26th, 34th, miscut, 48th, miscut, 31st at the TOC. So dead last. That was his form the year that he won, last year, before he won the freaking Tournament of Champions. Or before he won, I'm sorry, the 3M Open. Cam Champ could be a click. Just a click and hold your nose. Where is he on FanDuel? Cam Champ on FanDuel can't find him. Where's Cam? Somebody help me. Somebody help me in the chat. Oh, he's way up there. Oh, dang, he's at 42 to 1. Already 70 to 1 on DraftKings. Yeah, the field is gross, Dustin. We know that this could be long shot season. So okay, just stay with us. All right, so Smotherman and Tway are now getting asked about. So let's keep working down the board here and find. As I keep going down, let's see. Sahith. Ooh, Sahith. This could be a Sahith look. I do like that. Where is Thigala? 80 to 1 on DraftKings, 50 to 1 on FanDuel. He kind of makes me stop in my tracks a little bit. Let's take a look at Thigod. He is Checks the box off the tee for sure. I think he hits it plenty far. Finally got some damn rest. I mean, Sahith, I mean, Lord, boy. Sahith just be playing a lot of golf. The kid plays a lot of golf. Um, let's look at his distance numbers. Yeah, gain strokes with the driver for sure. I like Fahith Sigala. All right, so Sahith is a first click at 80 to 1 for sure. Anybody on Sahith with me here? Knox, no, I'm not doing Knox. Not doing Knox. I'm telling you guys, I'm not going to be leaning into the short hitters unless I get something from a caddy that leans me another way. I think a 7,400-yard golf course with massive fairways, some very long par fours, a couple of very long. I mean, the par fives. Actually, the par fives kind of help the shorter hitters a little bit because they're so long. I don't even know that the longer guys are going to have much. I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of eagles on most of these par fives. I think there was one of them that's pretty shorter or average by tour standards, but the par fours there's some big par fours here. And there's a drivable par four, and it's probably drivable for most of them, depending on wind. But that's why I'm leaning a little more pop in the bat. Brad agrees on Thigala. You like that? All right, let's keep working down. Scott Stallings might be worth a click. I'm not going to get into it. Carlos Ortiz. So obviously he's at 100 to 1 on DraftKings. He's one of the ambassadors for Vidanta. I think I've seen it on his hat. I've seen it a lot of places. He's 100 to 1 on DraftKings and 50 to 1 on FanDuel. So let's take a look. I don't think he's checking any boxes. And I do know he's familiar with the golf course, but you know, they have changed this golf course so much by adding so much length. They added 51 bunkers. They actually doubled the amount of bunkers on this golf course. And I would imagine that most of those went in on the fairways to kind of get in the landing areas for a lot of these guys. So the thing about Ortiz is the form is very bad. The form is really bad. He's missed his last 4 cuts. His best finish he did finish runner-up at the Mayakoba back in November, but he had a little better form coming into that, especially off the tee and with his irons. So the ball striking was definitely coming in better. Finished 8th at the OHL Mayakoba, another coastal track. That was in December of 2020, right after he won the Houston Open. I don't know about Ortiz. I mean, 100 to 1 is attractive for a guy that might have a little bit of familiarity here, but I don't love the form. Dustin, I did talk about Finau a little bit, but we can't do it. All right, let's keep working on the board. I think we're going to get to some of these names you guys mentioned. Lipsky, Wyndham Clark, it could be in play. Clark, Lipsky. I actually said this. I think David Lipsky is another guy that's going to win in the next year or so on tour. It'll be a weird event, but just watch. Vincent Whaley is interesting. 110. Smotherman. Let's take a look at Smotherman. So he's 110 to 1 on DraftKings. I'm pretty sure he's shorter. Yeah, he's 65 to 1. There's a lot of value right now on kind of the mid-range or long range here on DraftKings compared to FanDuel. Mitch asked a good question. Isn't the altitude air different in Mexico so guys hit it longer than Yeah, so that is true for the event they played here, the WGC Mexico at Chapultepec. However, this is at sea level. So you're not going to have the altitude advantage or mitigating distance here. This is at sea level confirmed. So ball's going to do what it's going to do like normal. Let's look at Smotherman. I was going to look at him. Smotherman, actually, I have some notes on Smotherman's Korn Ferry Tour career. Let's see. Let me find that note here. Because, I mean, yeah, obviously there's a sample that we have of Smotherman now that he's on the PGA Tour, but looking at a bigger body of work on the Korn Ferry Tour, he was top 10 in greens and regulation on the Korn Ferry Tour, averaged about 305 off the tee, but top 20 in fairways gained. 305 off the tee average is pretty good. I mean, that's good pop in the bat. It's actually not that good for Korn Ferry Tour players. They hit a lot of drivers with big fairways, and there's a lot of bombers in that young group that just pound the golf ball. So he's a good total driver for sure. Short game and putting was something that he kind of lacked, but he did hit a bunch of greens, and he likes hitting a draw. Played in Texas, probably got some wind familiarity there. But obviously, let's take a look at what he's been doing. He's been hitting his irons pretty well, and off the tee's been good. The approach So this looks a lot like his Korn Ferry Tour career. His ball striking has been very solid since, really since he got out on tour full time, gaining strokes off the tee and on approach in every event he's played. Really, cumulatively, almost every event, but there's only been 2 events where he's lost a little bit on one or the other. But the short game around the green and the putting has really been what's held him back. And those are 2 things I'm not really weighing a whole lot right now. So, could he be in play? Yes. Let's see. Let's take a look at his distance ranks on the PGA Tour. Yeah, he's gaining plenty of strokes on the PGA Tour in terms of distance. So this could be a spot for him. I'd imagine the greens are probably large here. I haven't seen anything on the greens in terms of the size, but I'll get some intel from that today. But I imagine the greens are pretty big here, so I don't know that you'll need a whole lot of scrambling here. Invisible Planet says sneaky CT pan spot. I don't like CT usually ever, and he's also too much of a short hitter for me. I'm out. Joanne, yes, answers in the field. I talked about him at the beginning. I'm not doing that at all. And I also think like some of these Mexican players are going to have a lot of pressure. Like it's going to be a lot of pressure, a lot of expectations, a lot of media responsibilities. Sometimes that works against a lot of guys. Smotherman may be worth a click, at 110 to 1 on DraftKings, obviously a better number there. All right, I want to work down the board a little bit here and then wrap this up. Chase Seaford at 150 to 1. I'm not going to dig into some of these guys. That he looks interesting to me. He's a really good ball striker. The ball striker's been there for him. Danny Lee at 150 to 1 is interesting as well. 150 to 1 on DraftKings. God, Patrick Rogers, mother father. Jeez, that guy. Maybe it's probably Patrick Rogers week. We should probably look into that. Svensson is definitely interesting at 150 to 1. Novak at 200 to 1, maybe. Let's see. Bramlett played okay a couple weeks ago, I think. He's at 200 to 1. Lee Hodges at 200 to 1. Somebody mentioned him in the chat. Who said that? Dustin, yeah. Lee Hodges at 200 to 1 is definitely one that I will probably dig into here. Who else working down the board? Now we're getting pretty deep here. Whew. I mean, Tommy Gainey's in this field. That's what we're dealing with right now, people. Kevin Tway, maybe. Curtis Thompson hits it a long way. He's 300 to 1. Hagee at 400 to 1 is interesting to me. That dude hits it a mile, and every now and then he pops. That's one. Anybody else? Paul Barjon, possibly. Yeah. So those are some other like super long bombs. I feel like I definitely got in depth on a handful of guys. First clicks, that I would probably start to narrow down, but Aaron Wise at 40 to 1 on DraftKings, Cam Tringali at 37 to 1 on FanDuel, Matt Jones 65 to 1 on DraftKings, Cam Champ 70 to 1 on DraftKings, Thigala at 80 to 1 on DraftKings, Ortiz at 100 to 1 on DraftKings. Probably not though. Smotherman at 110 to 1 on DraftKings could all be in play there. No love for Grillo for me. Grillo's ball striking has been bad lately, and that's his bread and butter. He just had a baby. He's I don't know what he's doing, but his ball striking's always been the bread and butter. But if you look lately, it's not been good, and his putting and chipping has never been good. So I think he's out. Did Berger withdraw? Did that happen? I see that in the chat. I don't know if that happened. Lipsky. Tony, I actually just mentioned David Lipsky. I think that guy is going to win a PGA Tour event in the next 12 months or so. And I don't know if it'll be now, but I do think he could contend at a lot of places on the PGA Tour. I don't know if this is it. I don't know how. Let's see. Let's look at his distance numbers. Yeah, he's a kind of a shorter hitter. Like I said, I mean, I'm very much on the bomber train this week with the golf course, unless I hear something very different from one of our caddies today and a couple other caddies between Tuesday and Wednesday. Berger has been playing hurt. Yeah, you're right about that. So we'll see. I mean, if I would think though, if he withdraws, he's probably going to withdraw soon. But we'll see. Yeah. So if you want to fire on, I mean, I don't think if Berger withdrew, it's not going to move a whole lot of the guys I talked about because I'm betting a bunch of long shots. But if you want to fire on Tringali or Aaron Wise, I'm sure they would get a little bit shorter before the week is over, or the week we get to. God dang it, I can't talk before we get to round one. Jeez. Berger's already out. Okay, the Berger withdrawal has hit. So there you go. You might want to fire on those guys in the shorter to mid range if you want it. Thank you for letting me know that Burger's out. Yeah, he is hurt, man. He really is. Also, we got to make sure guys don't drink the water because sometimes that happens around here. People aren't used to it. Their gut gets all messed up. They drink the water. They got the green apple two step walking to number four, and then they WD because they're going to crap their pants. So be on the lookout for that. All right. All right. Thanks for watching. Shows tonight going down. Back to a full schedule of content this week. Did not do that for the Zurich. We did a bunch of other stuff. I went to Pennsylvania, scoped out the golf tournament or the golf course for the Tour Junkies event in September. Got a lot of fun stuff to talk about with that. I'm excited about it. If you want to sign up for that, you can hit that in the description here below for the live golf event. It's going to be fantastic. We still got spots on my team and Pat's team if you want to play in the Ryder Cup Golby's match, the very first one you could play in on that Friday, and then the big scramble event on Saturday in September. So you got plenty of time to save, your couch money and figure it out. But go ahead and get you a ticket so that you don't miss out. All right, thanks. We'll talk to you Monday or tonight. It is Monday. Today's Monday. Yep. Talk to you tonight, regular time. Betting show at 8:30, DFS show at 9:45. See ya. Adios, amigos.